Austin, I guess games 3 and 4 and tonight all close in the fourth quarter, and you guys unable to prevail, and it's kind of all of a sudden the series is over. How do you kind of gauge that emotionally relative to what your hope and expectation was when round one started?
Obviously, this wasn't our expectation, our goal. But to be honest with you, as a group, we just didn't play good enough to, beat them. That's really it.
When you look ahead to the offseason, recognize that I think you, Luka, and LeBron only played 21 games together. What do you think you need most to reach your full potential, whether that be something from the outside or time to gel?
Just continuing to, grow together. Obviously, they're unbelievable basketball players, and the more time you spend, not with just them, but the whole unit, you're just going to become, more cohesive, more together, know exactly what, you're going to do every possession when things get tough, when you're rolling, how you want to play the game. I thought we did a really good job of that in the regular season, and we just, like I said, we just didn't play good enough in this series.
Austin, kind of a big picture question, if you'll allow it. Over the course of the season, there's been different moments where, I think right before the Luka trade, where the team was feeling really good about itself. After the Dallas game, where the team was feeling really good about itself and the different version of it. Where do you think it kind of just didn't click fully for you guys? Is there one or two things you can put your finger on as to say like why maybe that belief went unrealized?
I think there was. I really just don't think we played good. You give credit to Minnesota. They, played a really good series. But I think it come down to just us not being us. And obviously, I didn't have the series that I wanted to have. So, you can, point the finger at me. I really don't care. I wasn't, good enough to help us be successful. And, I wish I could have, did more, but I didn't. I struggled. But, you live and you learn. And I can guarantee that I'll, get back to work this off season and, be better.
Austin, you just touched on you're playing the series, but taking a step back, how do you view this season overall for you? I know you don't like talking about yourself, but just in terms of your growth and just what you showed this year.
I had a lot of fun. Forget the basketball. I enjoyed every single day going to work, being around these guys, the coaching staff, training staff, weight staff, everybody in the organization, and then, from game 1 to game 82, and now I just had a lot of fun. This is I always speak about how growing up playing with your best friends in high school, like sometimes nothing will ever top that because you've been able to play high school basketball with guys that you grew up with your whole life. But this is right up there with all that. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I have fun regardless of statistics or anything. I enjoy going to work every single day and putting in the work and going to battle with these guys.
Excuse me, Austin, kind of going back to a question that you were asked earlier, how did the last couple of months, this playoff series, how did I guess inform you of what to work on going to this offseason, about what's necessary to complement the LeBron and Luka and the lineups you guys have?
Just play better. I feel like I'm, talented enough to do that, as I feel like I've proved, over and over again throughout my whole life. There's millions of people that would have, never known me if I was never in this position, because, quite frankly, nobody thought I was ever going to be in this position. So I've continued to prove myself over and over again, and I'm going to go to work and do the same thing next year. That's really it. I just needed to be better, and I wasn't, and unfortunately, I can't go back and start the series over.